What's going on, guys? It's Brandon L. Draper with the Start Thinking Forward morning show. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about a free way to share your story or voice with a community of like-minded people, well, I got something for you. The no excuse way to start your podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it is free 99. They got all types of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. No special equipment needed, right? You can also make money from your podcast. There's not a minimum amount of people need to listen to it. It's everything plus more that you'll need to create your very own podcast in one place. So, what are you waiting on? Download your free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Start Thinking Forward morning show. I am your host, Brandon L. Draper. And first and foremost, I want to thank you for being here. You could be doing or listening to something else. So I want to personally thank you for listening and tuning in to this powerful show about reflection and transformation. Now, today's show is a interesting topic, something that I had a conversation with a friend and this came up and I started thinking about it and I said, wow, that's going to be the morning show, right? And today's topic is the blessing is in the problem. Now, what exactly does that mean? The blessing is in the problem. I think oftentimes, I know with myself, I can at least say this much, is that it always starts with me. It always starts with me. Is all on how I'm looking at it. If I'm looking at the situation badly, most likely it's going to work out badly. If I think it's going to be positive, then most likely it's going to be positive. Those are some of the things. Now, there's been times where I thought things were going to be good and it didn't work out. It happens to us all, right? So I'm not saying every time that you think good about it that somehow it's going to just work. It does not work that way. But perception is a big thing about that. So let me share a story with you, right? And this is just talking about how to think different, having a different perspective. Because when we talk about the blessing is in the problem, some of us don't understand that. Think about it for a second. How can you say that the blessing is in the problem when the problem is what's giving me so much hell? Because I know that's what someone's saying. Because if somebody was to say that to me, that's what I would say. You know, like, what in the world are you talking about? How in the world can a blessing be in the problem? But if you start saying it enough and you start thinking about it, you start reflecting back on your life and you realize some of the things that you went through, some of the hellacious things you went through, there was a blessing on the other side of that. In order for you to get that blessing, you had to go through what you had to go through. Right? Even though it was bad and it sucked when you was going through it, you had to get through it. Once you got through it, there was something greater on the other end of it. You just didn't know that at the time. The only thing you knew is that it was painful, but it's all in how you look at it. So let's share this. I'm going to share the story with you. Right? So in a small Italian town, hundreds of years ago, a small business owner owed a large sum of money to a loan shark. And the loan shark was very old and an unattractive guy, right? So it happened that he fancied the business owner's daughter. And I think you guys kind of know where this is going. He decided to offer the businessman a deal that he couldn't refuse, that would completely wipe out the debt that he had owed him. However, the catch was that he would wipe out the debt if he could marry the business owner's daughter. Needless to say, the proposal was met with a look of disgust. The loan shark said that he would place 2 pebbles in a bag, one white and one black. The daughter would then have to reach into the bag and pick out a pebble. If it was black, the debt would be wiped out, but the loan shark would then marry her. If it was white, the debt would also be wiped, but the daughter wouldn't have to marry the loan shark. Standing on a pebble strewn path the businessman's garden, the loan shark bent over and picked up 2 pebbles. Whilst he was picking them up, the daughter noticed that he'd picked up 2 black pebbles and placed them in the bag. He then asked the daughter to reach in the bag and pick one. Now I'm going to stop there. Now, there are 3 choices that she has, and there's 3 choices if you in the situation you have, right? One is to refuse to pick a pebble from the bag. Just outright refuse. The second thing she could do is take both pebbles out of the bag and expose the loan shark for cheating. Or the third, pick a pebble from the bag, fully well knowing it was black, and sacrifice herself for her father's freedom. Those are the 3 choices. So what happens next is that she drew out a pebble from the bag, and before looking at it, accidentally dropped it into the midst of the other pebbles. She said to the loan shark, "Oh, how clumsy of me. Never mind. If you look into the bag for the one that is left, you will be able to tell which pebble I picked." The pebble left in the bag is obviously black. And seeing as the loan shark didn't want to be exposed, he had to play along as if the pebble the daughter dropped was white and clear her father's debt. Here's the moral of it. It's always possible to overcome a tough situation when you have out-of-the-box thinking and not given to the only options you think you have to pick from. And that's based on your perception. The blessing is in the problem. Sometimes when we go through the difficulties, we're able to come up with something new. Something else is revealed. Sometimes you got to let go of the old in order to get the new. What's been promised to you? What are you willing to go after and get? Now, I never wanted to be one of those people because I don't do it. I'm not one of those individuals that go out and just read. I read a lot and I read extensively, but I just don't read and say, okay, whatever I say is it and nothing no one else. I don't take that dogmatic approach because it's not right. You know, we all feel as if we are being enlightened in certain areas, but that does not say that everything that we say is good as gold, because we're all different. We're all having different experiences in this life that we live. I'm not a philosopher, right? I'm not a psychiatrist. You know, those are not any things that's in my credentials. So only thing I'm exchanging with you is an idea, sharing you a story based on my experience. Maybe you can relate to it, but understanding that some of the most difficult things that we will face in our life, that there is a blessing at the end of it. Now, that's not to say that everything that happens to us that somehow minimizes the pain or the feeling that goes along with it. You may know that the blessing is on the other side and it may be greater and it may be good, but but when you don't feel it now, because we exist in the now hoping for a future. So when we feel that pain now, it's real. It's real when you go to bed hungry. It's real when you can't pay your lights. It's real when you're getting evicted from your house. No matter how many times someone has prophesied and said that you're going to be on top, you don't feel like you're on the top right now when you're going through the pain. So I'm not trying to minimize that, because that's real. That stuff really happens and we really feel it. Despite what may come, we must endure what is now. You can put that in quotation mark. That's mine. Direct thought from my head. Right? So you think about it for a second. Even if you knew for a fact or you program your mind to know for a fact that there's something greater coming at the end of all the struggling, it will make it much easier for you to endure the pain as you go along. It will make the journey much easier. It won't hurt as much if you have in your mind, fixated in your mind, that it's going to get better, which you know it will, that there's something greater on the other end of all the frustration and pain that you're going through. If you mentally prepare yourself for that, it makes the journey a lot easier, because at the end of the day, you're still headed to the destination. How do you want to do it? It's just like a plane. You go to Delta. We're in Atlanta here, so you go to Delta Airlines. You got different types of treatment based on upon amount of money you're willing to pay. You're all going to the same destination. If you're going from Atlanta to LAX, you're going to arrive there at the same time. Some person would say, well, mathematically, that's not correct. Technically, first class will get there first. Whatever. At the end of the day, you're generally getting at the place at the same time. Obviously, first class, getting off first, whatever the case. But at the end of the day, you're generally you travel the same way. It's just that the treatment was different based upon the amount of money you're willing to pay, based upon the amount of junk you're willing to take, based upon the amount of belittling you're going to take on your job. Just as much as you're willing to be disrespected, you're going to have to pay. That's a sacrifice. You have to give something in order to get something. You want the reward, but you're not willing to go through the struggle. The struggle is a part of the award, meaning that you are willing to endure what most won't. That's where the blessing is at, going through the journey. You can't get to the promised land if you don't make the journey. If you know it's there for you, my friend, and I like to talk about him, look at all this stuff, support him, Grant Cardone. He's always saying this thing, who got your money? Who has your success? Who has that thing that you need, that you want, that you desire, the desires of your heart? Where is that? How do you make that journey to get there? You want that, but you're not willing. You want a healthy relationship, but you're not willing to work on having a healthy relationship. You want to have money in the bank, but you're not willing to save. All you do is spend. You want to get a new house. It sounds good to talk about it. It sounds good to tell people about it, but you're not making any forward action to do it. You're not working on your credit. You're getting more debts. These are the things, right? The blessing is on the other side of it, but are you willing to make the sacrifices? Are you willing to endure some pain, right? Are you willing to sacrifice some things in order to make the journey to get there, right? The worst thing you can be, the worst situation you can be in, and I said this the other day, I texted and I said, when you are in a situation in your life where you see the way, it's like you see the way out. It's like you standing at the bank of this wide ocean, and I'm not even say ocean. I'm not even say a big body of water, right? And on the other side of this body of ocean is your promised land. You see how to get there. You figure you've been timing the winds and everything, so you know how to get there. But for some reason, you can never build a boat to get there, because you can't just go in the water like that, right? The sharks will get to you, so you got to have a boat. How can you get to the promised land if you don't have a boat? You don't have a vehicle that's going to navigate you there, right? You don't know how to navigate there because you don't want to deal with the problems, because the problems hurt, but you want the blessings. Somebody hear me this morning what I'm talking about. You want the blessings, But you're not willing to deal with the problem right now, right? You want to be happy, but you're not willing to work out that relationship. You ain't willing to do no longer. You ain't willing to do all that, right? You want the good job, but you refuse to go to school. You refuse to get any other additional education you need, right? Right? You know that the doctor said you're going to have a heart attack if you keep eating that way and you keep gaining that weight, but you don't want the problem of exercising and wasting your time and doing all that stuff. You just deal with it when it comes. You don't care nothing about your sugar right now. Let them take a toll, right? So now somebody's listening to this and say, this is egregious. Like, how can he say that? I'm bringing the reality of your mind and how we talk ourselves into this. So we talk ourselves out of problems. We want to dodge problems so much that we miss out on our blessings, right? There's things that's trying to happen for you, but you won't allow it to happen because you're not willing to go through anything. You just want the cake. You don't want to bake it though. You want somebody else to bake the cake. You want somebody else to build your boat. You want somebody else to give you the vehicle you need to get to your promised land. It's not their promised land, it's your promised land, but you want them to give you what you need, right? But the reality is, in this world, nobody cares that much about what you talking about or what you worried about. That's why half of them don't support you in what you do anyway, right? They're not supporting you because they don't see the vision. So why would they build you a boat to carry you to your vision, to your promised land? You got to build a boat. And when you get ready to sail off, that's when you give your last sermon on the mount. That's when you make it clear as day and say, I'm going. Who's with me? Either you're on the boat with me or you're not. You can't do this for this and do this for that and be on this boat, because if you on this boat, the only thing we doing is what's on this boat, because we trying to get to the promised land. If you worrying about this other person's boat over here and what they doing, and you worrying about how they tying their stuff off on this boat, right? Anybody that sailed before know what I'm talking about. If you're not focused, you might get hit on your head. The sail hit you smack in your head, you knocked out because you worrying about other boats except the boat that you're on. Worry about the boat that you're on. Deal with the problems that's concerning your boat so that you can make it to your promised land, right? You got the vision. Now you have made the boat. Key word there is Y-O-U. You. It's going to take you doing it. You have to lead the way. When I was in the military, everything was follow me. Not where do I go? Who do I need to talk to? Follow me. I'll light the way. Let's go. That's what you got to do if you're leading. You're the leader of your vision. Take what you're doing serious and understand that you're going to have to go through some problems. You will go through some problems. You're going to go through some problems, and understand you will. Don't even try to take it off the table. I hate when I see people do that. When I see problems, I get excited. That don't change how I feel about them though. I get angry just like anybody else. I'm angry when something happens, something doesn't work my way, or things not working in the direction that I want. This last week, I talked about another morning. I had a bad morning, right? Have some devs, some developers that's not seeing things my way. Right? For progression of technology and things that I want to do. They're not seeing it my way. They don't see the big picture of it, because if they seen the vision that I had, it would have went from an 1.5-hour conversation to a 8-hour conversation. But he doesn't see the vision that I have. But that's not going to stop me from getting to the promised land. And whatever obstacles coming your way shouldn't stop you from getting to the promised land. You just got to find another way. Maybe you can't use his bamboo. He won't let you use his bamboo to build your boat, because he don't think it's worth him giving the bamboo to you for you to go, because he don't think that there's no treasure over there. So he don't want to invest his bamboo with you. Find somebody else's bamboo. Find you some other bamboo. Somebody gonna back you up. Somebody gonna believe you. Somebody believe Mark Zuckerberg. Right? Somebody believe the Airbnb brothers. The Twitter brothers. Somebody believe them. And one day someone's gonna believe you. The thing about it is, the one person goes back to that fundamental word. You. In order for anyone to follow you, in order for anyone to believe you, you gotta believe you. You gotta believe you. That's the question. Do you believe you? Do you believe you can do it? Do you believe what you're talking about makes sense? Because if you don't believe it, how in the hell can you ever convince someone else to? That's the moment of truth where we have to really look at ourselves and ask those fundamental questions. Am I being true to me? And do I have the heart to continue to make this dream a reality? Do I really believe in me? So you don't waste people's time, because you got to have an unwavering belief in yourself. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. Just one. All it takes is one. And that one is within you. Everything else is subjective. But you're the one relative thing. You're real. You're here. You're the one that makes the decisions. Think about how much control I just gave you. If you've had this control all this time, but you fail to realize it. See, I think in life we know a lot of things, but we fail to realize them because life is so flooded with so much noise. We fail to realize capabilities and powers within. Now, I'm not one of these gurus, and I'm not trying to go down that road. Because I know a lot of people think, I'm not trying to go down that road. But we must admit there's certain universal truths in a lot of things that we read, a lot of things that we see, a lot of things that we experience. We call it the unwritten rules or the unwritten laws or whatever the case may be. But we all feel these things. At the end of the day, the blessings is in the problem. You must really become a very good problem solver. If you become a very good problem solver, you're going to be one blessed individual. Hey guys, you want to follow me, please follow me at The Real Motivational King. If you want to share your story of inspiration and power, please visit us online at www.pinnaclepointpublishing.com. And please support this channel. You can go to patreon.com/creators inner circle and support, or you can go on Anchor as well, FM, and go up there and make a donation to our channel to help us build this thing and take it a lot further than it is now. We want to continue to grow because people need to hear. People need to hear someone that's in the trenches, dealing with life, dealing with business, dealing with family, dealing with a multitude of issues. But no matter what, you got to continue to not only survive, but thrive. Hey guys, that's my time. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. I don't take it lightly that you took the time, almost 24 minutes of your life you dedicated to me. And I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys. Until tomorrow morning, I'll see you later. Bye.